I told my mom, Mom, why don't you teach me to play the violin? It would have been so much easier. All right. Creativity. Something I'm crazy about. I've been doing this thing for a couple of years now. And I'm totally fascinated by it. It's all I am. It's what I do. Steve Jobs made a very pivotal statement. He said, creativity is simply connecting things. Henry Matisse, or Henri Matisse says, well, in order to be creative, you're going to need some courage. And let me tell you, he was so right. Putting your neck on the line every time some paint hits the canvas is going to move you. It's going to challenge you. It's going to push you in a direction. What is this realm of creativity, actually? And actually, you guys have my best view, so relax. What is this realm of creativity? Where does it stem from? Where does it come from? What is this cosmos of creativity? It fascinates me now more than ever in the history of this world. Creativity has been stressed upon. And let me say this, it is now more than ever a situation where to be artistic is really easy, but to be creative and inventful is not. Today, more than ever, we are put in pressurized situations where you need to be creative. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone who's an accountant here, but recently I've heard of this term, creative accounting. What is that? I didn't come up with that. The word creativity gets dropped into platforms and into spaces now that it has never before. Creativity is shaping and molding areas that have never, ever, ever experienced such a dynamism because of its advent. You see, it's not just when you look at the final product do we see creativity. It's actually when you look in the backdrop of who that being is, who that corporate is, do you start seeing, well, were they creative or not? What is the roots of it all? Well, I want to put it to you like this. There's one word that will better help you understand what creativity is. It's the word association. What you associate with will change the paradigm of your creativity. Who you associate with will change the impact of your creativity. You see, creativity is making the unrelatable add value to each other. It is the only place that can happen. When we look back in time, it's a bunch of dots that were joined together. There were fantastic artists like Claude Monet, who with his haystacks is there different times of the day, and he's busy using complementary colors from opposite poles. And just by using the intensity of the colors, the different hues of the colors, he starts formulating paintings or a field of genre of art called Impressionism. And today a lot of people say, well, I've got an impressionistic painting at home. It's beautiful. Well, back then it wasn't. Back then it was nothing to brag about. In fact, when you were called an impressionist, it was something that people frowned on. It was an insult given to an artist who presented his work at one of the art competitions, and the curator said, well, that's just a mere impression. You thus become an impressionist. And they were right. Do you know how much skill is required to give yourself 2 hours to capture sunrise and know what time of the day it was. Opposite poles. Or you could be like the Thai gentleman who came up with a concoction that helped keep truck drivers awake. And then this wonderful businessman came from Austria, and he had such jet lag that he actually said, hey, do you guys have anything here in Thailand for, I flew quite a distance. I need something to keep me awake. They said, yeah, sure, try this thing. He took it. It woke him up. Next thing you know, he's meeting the founder of it. Next thing you know, what drink do we have? Red Bull. From Thailand, one pole, to Austria, another pole, and out comes an amazing drink. Or you could be like that student who was so inspired by his monk teacher, whose real passion as a teacher in varsity was calligraphy. And you're thinking, well, my gosh, calligraphy? Yeah. And he fell head over heels for the amazing field of calligraphy. Sans serifs, italics, different emphasis you could put on strokes. Simple calligraphy, right? It's just calligraphy. Years later, this gentleman comes back to his teacher and he says, because of what you taught me, the opposite, the different poles, I actually started a company. And the company's called Apple. And his name was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs influenced by a teacher who taught him about calligraphy. We need variety. We need complementary. We need opposing views to challenge our ideas, our creativity. We can no longer live in safe little havens, safe little bubbles, and expect there to be a strength, a tempered idea. Tempering is only going to happen when your very idea gets challenged. And yet, as creatives, we kind of stay with the safe people, hey? People who like what I'm doing. Ooh, if I don't like, that auntie doesn't like my painting, stay away from them. No. Go to those people. Hear what they're all about. It could just be a solution that you've been looking for the whole time. Safe spaces. All right, in closing, I want to share this a little bit. Creativity, the creative in you, requires the following: a consciousness, a conscious decision now that what you are saying, that what you are creating, that who you are being is about to change the world forever. Remember that the beauty, that very beauty of what you love needs to be seen in what you do. Thanks.